Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good day to all everyone. Uh, we meet again. Right now, we go to the next chapter. Okay, before this, we talk about customer values, satisfaction, and loyalty. So right now, we go forward. Okay, we have two topics regarding on consumers market. First, the consumers market. Second one is business market. So the sustainability, the survivability of one business actually based on who their consumers and how this consumer have to ensure our business survive. Okay, so few things that we need to know, to study, okay, before we approach them, okay, before we offer them something of filling up the gap that they have, okay, solving their problems or giving them alternative to choose. So before that, we need to know who are they, what are the factors that affect their decision making. Okay, is it actually is involve both parties or both markets. Okay, consumers and business market. So first of all, we talk about the consumers market first. Okay, consumers market. So let's go. Let's talk about this. Okay, analyzing consumers market. All right. Okay, this is part number 6 in our course. We already talked about 5 things. Okay, starting from the overview, the definitions. We talk about analyzing market environment, conducting research, and then we go to the value and satisfaction. Right now, we're talking about consumers market. So how they behave and what we need to know, okay, from them. Okay, all right. So how do consumer characteristics influence buying behavior? Okay, we need to know how our potential customer behave, which lead to a decision where they buy our product. So what are the major psychological processes influence consumer responses to the marketing program? How do consumer make purchasing decision? Do we also consumer? Okay, we also involved in that process as well. Okay, so we do sometimes we do not aware because this process uh, go through very instantly, spontaneously happen. Okay, but actually the researcher found there are few steps taken before we attempt to make decision to buy a product. Okay, so then in what way do consumers stray from a deliberative rational decision process? Okay, all right. Okay, so what are the most important thing in studying consumer behavior? Okay, so before we start any kind of business, okay, we need to know how our potential customer, our main focus behave, our main focus characteristic, our main focus we call it as parties that will respond directly to our offering. Okay, so must have a thorough understanding on how consumers think, feel, and act, and offer clear value to each and every target consumer. Okay, so successful marketing requires that companies fully connect with their customer. Before this, we talk about relationship that lead to the satisfaction, how the relationship guarantee the values deliver successfully, and how the relationship that can enhance the values which result the loyalty from the customer. So adopting a holistic marketing orientation, that one is we consider as the sixth or the last or the latest one of marketing orientation. Holistic marketing, which include in it performance marketing, relationship marketing, internal marketing. Okay, uh, so having the clear idea about your customer, get full view. I mean here 360. Okay, from what they have done in the morning until they sleep and wake again. It is very important for marketer. Okay, so their daily life and the change that occur during their lifetime, so the right product are always market to the right customer in right way at the right time. Okay. Okay. What influences consumer behavior? What are the things that can push, drive consumer in making any kind of decision to buy a product? Sorry, I'm just have a drink. Okay, so consumer behavior is a study of how individual groups or an organization select, buy, use, and dispose of goods. Okay, services, ideas, or experience to satisfy their needs and wants. Okay, so we need to fully understand both the theory and reality of consumer behavior. Okay, somehow you read a lot, so many books that you go through, but sometimes uh, using the theory fully are not we call it sufficient uh, to make you have more understanding towards your customer. You need also jump to the reality, the actual environment, the actual situation, which can uh, give you better better views, clear opinion, verified to you on what happened out there. So a consumer buying behavior is influenced by cultural, social, and personal factor. Okay, some of the book mention personal factor. Psychological factor. We have four. Some of the book say that we have cultural, we have social, we have also personal, we have also the uh, psychological factor. Okay, so cultural factor exert the broadest and deepest influence. Most of us, every one of us, have culture is the most uh, have more leverage towards or influence our decision making style. Okay, okay. Next, we go through one by one. Cultural factor. Okay, in these factors, there are three things: the cultures, the subculture, and social classes. Okay, that most affect most of the we call it as our decision making. Okay, so culture is the fundamental determinant of person's want and behavior. Okay, the way how we choose our product, the way how we respond to our market offering, much more influence on culture. Okay, for example, talking about food. Okay, we talk about something related to religious association. Okay, in our decision making. Okay, so subculture is the smallest part or the component, smaller component compared to the culture. Okay, which is provide more specific identification and socialization for their members. Okay, which is we can look into nationality of oneself, religions, racial groups, and geographic regions. So multicultural marketing grew up of careful marketing research, which revealed that different ethnic and demographic niche did not always respond favorably to mass marketing. So you need to make sure some of the group that you have targeted need special response, need personal touch, need customization. More likely, talk about one-to-one marketing or another one, personalized marketing that we have already discussed before. Okay. All right. So, for example, here, as we can say, based on the Asian sample, okay, we have a Chinese consumer, for instance, may respond differently from Indian, Malay, or Filipino consumers. Uh, so to the Chinese, especially those of the Cantonese dialect group, Feng Shui literally meaning wind water. Okay, or geomancy is important. Some Chinese avoid buying house with number 4. Okay, in the address because it sound like and this cannot death. Okay, whatever the number 8 as it sound like prosperity. Yes, of course. Why as I learn a bit about writing and how Chinese look, because there's no way out when you write number 4 sir. Yeah, sunset sir, the sir is the we call it as a character show there's no way out. Instead of it in certain or the most Chinese group or Chinese in Chinese culture believe that continuity, the infinity. Okay, that's why they use the word prosperity. That's why some if you identify most of the Chinese consumer avoid buying car with a number with have the registration number of 4. Okay, they like to have other than that 8 most likely. They want to another number can have. Okay, but they avoid to have 4 set. Okay, yeah, 3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10. Okay, so that very important since we involve in multicultural market. So you need to know that. So the Beijing Olympic was officially opened on 8 August 2008, which is 8808. Okay, at 8 p.m. So they look to have good we call it as a influence from basic thing. Maybe I mean very small parts. Yeah, the number affect their we call it as courage, motivation, and also it's part of their we call it uh, belief. Okay, that's why they use. Okay, so social stratification. Okay, virtually all human societies exhibit social stratification. So more frequently, it takes the form of social classes, relatively homogeneous and enduring division in our society, hierarchically ordered and with members who share similar values, interests, and behavior. Okay, likely Malaysia doesn't have locally as a registered or predefined group, but in some of the property market uh, is about categorized based on the elite group, middle income group, or lower income group. So most likely we categorize based on or classified based on income level. Okay, so that what was happened in Malaysia. Okay, this is what we have in United States they have 7 levels of society. Okay, from the lowest until the uppers. Okay, all right. So where else we can find this social class? India, we have a casta. Okay, casta which differentiate one group to another, and also from there the product offering also have its own category or its own market. Okay, all right. First, characteristic of social classes: those within each class tend to behave more like than person from two different social class. So social classes differ in dress, speech pattern, recreational preferences, and many other characteristics. Okay, people are perceived as occupying inferior or superior position according to social class. And third, social class is indicated by a cluster of variables, for example, occupation, income, wealth, education, and value orientation, rather than by any single variable. Okay, not only stick on one, but it can be more than that or other than that. Okay, right. Fourth, individual can move up or down the social class ladder during their lifetime. The extent of this mobility varies according to how rigid the social stratification is in a given society. Some of the society we call it as prohibit we call it movement from the bottom to the up and up going down. Okay, they have their own standard, they have their own uh, code. Okay, code of conduct. All right. A marketing implication of social classes. Okay, so social classes show distinct product and brand preferences in many areas. Okay, include clothing, home furnishing, leisure activity, and automobile. So the car they use, where they do recreation, and with whom they deal with also different. Okay, social classes differ in media preferences, with upper class consumer often preferring magazine and book, and lower class consumer often prefer television. Even within a media category such as TV, upper class consumer tend to prefer news and drama, and lower class consumer tend to prefer soap opera and sport program. Okay. Right. There are also language differences among the social class. Advertising copy and dialogue must ring through the targeted social class. They have their own group, their own level. Okay. Some people might say, "You are not my level." All right. This is. I'm not saying that they are show their social class, but sometimes it can be expressed like in that way. Okay, so social factor, the second factor, the first factor we have done, call it as a culture and subculture and social class. Right now, social factor, the second factor, major factor. Okay, so consumer behavior is influenced by social factors such as reference group, okay, family and social role or statuses. Okay, all right. Okay, reference group. All right, persons reference group are all the groups that have a direct or indirect influence on their attitude and also behavior. So having direct influence are called, you call it as a membership group. Some membership group are primary groups such as family, okay, friends, neighbor, and co-workers, whom the person interact fairly continuously and informally. So people belong to secondary groups such as religious, professional, trade union groups would tend to be more formal, because in terms of membership itself also require you to have some information given rather than informal or primary group. Okay, the primary group more informal, more towards looking relationship based on the uh, emotion, more likely because something that not can be can be formalized. All right. Okay. So reference group influence. Okay. Can influence others based either from either one of it. Okay. Either one of this aspiration or dissociative group. Okay. Aspiration group, you join the group. Okay. This is the way how we understand it little bit more simple, in more simplest way. Aspiration group you join because you aspire inspired to follow and to behave like that person do, or you join because you avoid to involve in some particular some particular event or some particular activities. Okay, so okay, influence of reference group. Okay, so this group expose an individual to new behavior and lifestyle, influencing attitude and self concept. They create pressure for conformity that may affect actual product and brand choices. So different group much more like joining one group of people that having certain objectives, certain agenda, okay, which give values to the members. Okay, opinion leader. Okay, where different group influence is strong, marketers must determine how to reach and influence the group opinion leaders. So this person, we call it as a OL atau opinion leader, is a person in informal product related communication who offer advice or information about a specific product or product category. So we, as marketer, try to reach opinion leader by identifying demographic and psychographic characteristics associated with opinion leadership, identify the the media rate by opinion leader, and directing messages at opinion leaders. So click is another term, another new thing, and some of you might not aware of this. Okay, society can be seen as a consisting of clique, small group whose members interact frequently. Okay, so these members are similar and their closeness facilitate effective communication but also insulate the clique from new ideas. Okay, it's helped along by people who function as liaison, connecting two or more cliques without belonging to either, and by bridges, people who belong to one clique and are linked to a person in another. Okay, in the same factor, social factor, okay, is another one group called family. Okay, the family is the most important consumer buying organization in society. Some of us might affected very much by family position. Okay, so in some of the book, we talk about how in a family might trigger the process. We bought anything in the market. Okay, so the two families in the buyer's life, the family of retention consists of parent and sibling. The more direct influence on everyday buying behavior is the family or of procreation, namely the person's spouse and children. So the roles and influence of family members. Okay, marketers are interested in the roles and relative influence of family members in the purchase of a large variety of products and services. The role vary widely in different countries and social class. Given women increasing wealth and income generating ability, household purchasing patterns are gradually changing in Asia. Okay. Either you're aware or not. In a family, we consist few roles. Okay, from the initiator or instigator, we have the influencer, we have the purchaser, we have the decision maker. Sorry, the yes, the purchaser, the consumer. Okay, even sometimes who buyer also different. So the rule actually giving some idea on how we cope with the market and how we attract the potential market to buy a product. Okay, that's why we can look into our shelving style in hypermarket or retail market. Okay, we can assure that the products displayed involved in this this factor. Okay, so the family most likely affect our decision making in buying products. Okay, marketing implication. Many women may respond differently to marketing messages. Okay, another shift in buying pattern is an increase in the amount of dollars spent and the direct and indirect influence wielded by children and teens. Okay, all right. Direct influence describe children's hint, requests, and demands. Okay. All right. Role and status. Okay. Let's talk about as directly to the examples for me as myself. Okay, I'm maybe a role in the family. I have a role of a father, or another one. I am also have role in as a husband. I'm also have role as a lecturer. I'm also have a role as friend or as a student. So many roles that you hold will affect how you behave and what kind of product that you prefer to buy. Okay, when you hold the role, maybe chief or in any association, you are the chairman. You might show yourself, show your we call it as image as that roles that you hold. Okay. All right, personal factor. Okay, the third factor. Okay, buyer decision are also influenced by personal characteristic. This include the buyer's age and stage in the life cycle, occupation and economic circumstances, personality and safe concept, and lifestyle and values. Okay, so age and lifestyle. Sorry, age and stage in life cycle. Okay, this is some example that can be shared with you. Okay, people taste in food, clothes, furniture, and recreation is often age related. Okay, Japanese teenagers dye their hair, fire engine red, and wear the latest street fashion, which include tutus over pants. Okay, they quit school because the strict discipline in school is not compatible with what they want at this stage of their life cycle. Their independence and confidence, coupled with the rise of individuality, has fueled their desire for things that express this trait. Okay, that's why there's so many products respond or reflect to the what they have done. Okay, Japan aging population has seen the introduction of a plethora of elderly friendly products such as therapeutic electronic pets like Paro, uh, the furry robot, Seal. Okay. So occupation and economic circumstances. Okay. In the situation we have struck by pandemic COVID-19. Okay, some of us retrenched, uh, dismissed from the job. Okay, more most of them affected in terms of their spending pattern. Okay. Some of them argue that even though we have the pandemic, people still have time to buy iPhone 12. Okay, this is what happened just few days. Okay, in my opinion, my personal opinion, saying that people have their own motivation in saving, in how they dispose their income. but blaming said that you have money to buy iPhone, but when someone broke down, cannot have steady income, you deny their right. It's not true because different people have different uh, perceived situation. Yes, there are how many people queuing up to buy that product compared to the total of 30 million population in Malaysia. How many percent of them? So we are not accusing that people are not strategized in their we call it as spending. Okay, so it's something that not right. Okay, that's my personal opinion. Okay, because other people uh, might have different situation that can be explained. Okay, so product choice is greatly affected by economic circumstances. Okay, most of us, okay, as far as I know, most of us we tend to look into our purse before we buy any product. Okay, so spendable income, level stability, and time pattern, saving and effect, including the percentage that is liquid. Okay, the liquidity level of your income will determine how good or how bad in your spending. Okay, people do have high payout. Okay, not uh, not the sole indicator saying that you have high purchasing power. Okay, from that you need to identify how much they put for their commitment. Some of them have their commitment over their surpass their income. Okay, so they don't have opportunity uh, to entertain themselves. Okay, to for personal achievement they are not capable of. Okay, all right. Okay, personality and self concept. Okay, is a set of distinguishing human psychological traits that lead to relatively consistent and enduring responses to environmental stimuli. It is often described in terms of such as trait, self-confidence, okay, dominance, autonomy, different bukan deep, not different, okay, difference, okay, sociability, defensiveness, and adaptability. We define brand personality as the specific needs of human traits that may be attributed to a particular brand. So, 7 brand personality by Jennifer Archer. Okay, sincerity, okay, down to earth, honest, wholesome, and cheerful. For example, the Hello Kitty, excitement, okay, daring, spirited, imaginative, up to date. For example, MTV, competence, reliable, intelligent, and successful, as shown by Samsung. Okay, sophistication, okay, Shiseido. All right, ruggedness, outdoorsy and tough. For example, Timberland. That's why Timberland have their own image. It doesn't change over time. Passion, okay, emotional intensity, spirituality, and mysticism. Okay, for example, Zara and peacefulness. Okay, Yamaha. This is Yamaha music. Okay, peacefulness. All right. The second concept, some of us choose certain brand based on their their image toward having those brand. Okay, so If you choose that, okay, that we call it as a self concept. Okay, so that the actual self concept. However, yeah, we have another one, okay, ideal self concept. Okay, so you're looking for matching, okay, and another one, how do people other people look us, okay, so other self concept. So lifestyle and values, okay, people from the same subculture, social class and occupation may lead quite different lifestyle. Okay, so lifestyle is a person's pattern, okay, of living in the world as expressed in activity, interest and opinion, the way they talk, the way they do their sport, okay, have their time much more uh, resembling the lifestyle. Okay, so lifestyle portrays the whole person interacting with his or her environment. So marketing and lifestyle, okay, uh, we often try to match, okay, between our offering in and the lifestyle of the potential customer. Okay, for example, a computer manufacturer might find that most computers buyers are achievement oriented. So most likely what happened out there, not only looking for performance, but also any uh, any association to their life, to their image of daily life. Okay, so lifestyle, time constraint, lifestyle are shaped partly by whether consumer are money constraint or time constraint. So companies aiming to serve money constraint consumers will create lower cost product and services. Okay, that's one is a local brands usually fill this need in many emerging markets, while the foreign counterparts target more affluent consumers. So consumers who experience time famine are prone to multitasking, that is doing two or more things at the same time. So companies aiming to serve them will create convenient product and services for this group. So core values, consumer decisions are also influenced by core values, the belief system that underlie consumer attitudes and behavior. So core values go much deeper than behavior or attitude and determine at a basic level people's choices and desires over the long term. So marketers who target consumer on the basis of their values believe that by appealing to people's inner self, it is possible to influence their role, or sorry, their outer selves, their purchase behavior. Okay, so key psychological processes. Okay, as we can see in this figure. Okay, some of us might use stimulus response model. Okay, stimulus response model. Okay, this is another term for model of consumer behavior. Okay, so the starting point for understanding consumer is the stimulus response model. Okay, this model. All right, why we call it as a stimulus? Because normally anything that we found in the market that trigger our intention, our desire, or our interest to buy any product, okay, actually start or begin with the stimuli, okay, either marketing stimuli, or other stimuli. Okay, all right. All right. Okay. So, what are the marketing stimuli? The product, price, distribution, and also the communication. Okay. So, other stimuli, this is something that related to macro part, okay, technological, political, the cultural, the economic, okay, will drive you to consider or to process certain decision. Okay. So as you can see there, the model show the stimulant, okay, the stimuli will be processed or will be absorbed by an individual, okay, by ourselves. In more close example, later you will decide based on what you have in you, your level of motivation, your perception towards that thing or that product or services. How do you learn, and the set that you have, okay, regarding your experience, your, we call it history, okay. From there, okay, you will do the process of uh, buying, okay. What is your problem until the post purchase behavior, okay. This model also show you that all of us as a consumer, okay, affected by our values that we have, okay. In ourselves, we learn a lot throughout the life cycle, from the newly born until now. We much more affect our decision making process, okay. So in terms of motivation, okay, the motivation factor is another factor. All right, we can cite several theories. Okay, fruit theories, Abraham Maslow's theories, and Herzberg theories. Okay, so as an example, these three theories, okay, most of them use to indicate level, to indicate state of oneself in acquiring or put some requirement to buy or to make any decision. Fruit theory. Sigmund Freud assumed that the psychological process shaping people behavior, okay, that's normally unconscious, okay, then cannot be fully understanding, okay. We actually don't have clear idea why we behave like this, why we behave like that. Okay. When a person examines specific brand, he or she will react not only to their stated capability but also to others. Okay. So a technique called laddering let us trace a person's motivation from the stated instrumental ones to more terminal one. So motivation research, okay, often collect in-depth interview with few dozen consumers to uncover deeper motive triggered by a product. Some of the technique might be used, okay. In this case, we familiar using the projective technique, okay. Giving something given to the respondent and look for their reaction. So in Abraham Maslow's theory, okay, we are familiar with the Abraham Maslow hierarchy needs theory. Okay, Abraham Maslow said that we are looking for something more physiological before we achieve self-actualization. I mean, oneself or your self motivation or your self needs. Okay, this is how Maslow rank our needs. Okay, so Asian perspective on needs important. Okay, in collectivistic society like Asia, it is debatable whether self-actualization is applicable to Asian consumer. Yeah, this need may be socially directed instead, given the strong desire of Asian to enhance their image and position through contribution to society. So socially directed needs considered the most important for Asian. Okay, three types of socially directed needs, okay, may be considered the most important for Asian. First, affiliation, okay, accept an individual as a member of the group. Second, admiration, okay, admire, respect from the members of the group, and also status. Okay, get status, get the rank, how the yourself being ranked by other, how they look us inside the group. Husband, two-factor theory, dissatisfier and satisfier. Okay, the essence of dissatisfier is not enough to motivate a purchase. Okay, I mean here Husband said that there are two things, two variables, dissatisfier and satisfier. Okay, in this case, stated that you cannot throw out the dissatisfier only, which can boost your decision making, but presenting the satisfier will influence much better. Okay, Husband theory has two implications. Sellers should do their best to avoid dissatisfier. Okay, for sure, because you don't want dissatisfier come in our offering or any activities that are related to marketing activity. Sellers should identify the major satisfier or motivators of purchase in the market and supply them. So motivate, okay, that's what Husband said. So right now we talk about perception. Okay, very interesting subtopic, very interesting term. Okay, talking about perception. How you select, how you organize, how you interpret. Okay, any information that you obtain. Okay, through your senses. Okay, most likely what we look by our sight, our eyes. Okay, it depends on not only physical stimuli but also on the stimuli relationship to the surrounding environment and on condition within each of us. So in this case, some situation might occur. Okay, right here during the process of uh, develop perception. Okay, might be happen this kind of action, selective attention. Okay, marketer have to work hard to attract consumers notice. Okay, because from our point of view as a consumer, actually we do select our main focus, okay, in one whole advertisement. We only aware few things rather than the whole things. Okay, that's what we call it selective attention. So there's some finding. So people are more likely to notice stimuli that relate to a current need. Okay, that's why. Okay, as we can see. Oh my God. All right, when you advertise something related to the perfume, for example, you are not talking about how good the smell of your perfume, but how comfort you, how pleasant you are when people around you accept your smell. Okay, accept you. the more pleasant, which is assured that you are using good product. Okay, so people are more likely to notice stimuli than they anticipate. So people are more likely to notice stimuli whose deviation are large in relation to the normal size of the stimuli. So although people screen out much of the surrounding stimuli, they are influenced by unexpected stimuli such as sudden offer in the mail, over the phone, or from a salesperson. So marketers may attempt to promote their offer intrusively to bypass selective attention filter. Okay, that's the first one. Selective attention. How about the selective distortion? Okay, it's a tendency to interpret information in a way that fits our preconception. So consumer will often distort information to be consistent with prior brand and product belief. Okay, so consumer report different opinion between branded and unbranded version of identical product. It must be the case that the brand and product belief. So this selective distortion can work to the advantage of marketer with strong brand when consumer distort neutral or ambiguous brand information to make it more positive. This is as an example, the size and shape of the glass, okay, and the color and smell of the liquid are all cues which may affect consumer perception and evaluation when drinking a glass of orange juice. Okay, so people do not remember much information. This is we talk about retention. Okay, information regarding on to which they are exposed, but we tend to retain information that support their attitude and belief. Because of selective retention, consumers are likely to remember good point about a product they like and forget good point about competing product. Okay, we have already three. Okay, selective attention, selective distortion, okay, selective retention. Right now, subliminal perception. Okay. The selective perception talking about active participation, active engagement. However, in subliminal perception, okay, something that we are not aware. Okay, package and consumer are not consciously aware of this message, but yet they affect their behavior. Okay, this is what we call it as a subliminal perception. All right, so learning. Okay, learning, I'm usually associate three things, or we combine three things: learning, belief, and attitude. So we go one by one fast. Okay, learning involves changes in behavior arising from experience. Okay, do you know learning? Anything that you look, anything that you taste, anything that you feel, anything that you touch. Okay, giving you some information which later on can bring you or drive you to be a belief. Okay, right. So this learning can affect marketing action. So learning theory teach marketer that they can build demand for a product by associating it with a strong drive, using motivating cues and providing positive reinforcement. Talking about this product is very good. For example, why it is very good? There are some features that lead you, for example, healthy lifestyle. Talking too frequently, okay, people will get some ideas by using this product. They will have certain improvement. Okay, some changes might happen. Okay, all right. Hedonic bias. The hedonic bias say people have a general tendency to attribute success to themselves and failure to external causes. Okay, consumer are thus more likely to blame a product than themselves. putting pressure on marketers to carefully explicate product function in well-designed packaging and label, instructive ads and website, and so on. Okay, hedonic bias. Consumer response is not all cognitive and rational. Much may be emotional and invoke different kinds of feeling. Okay, sometimes comments or opinion by someone are not based on facts, not factual, not we call it as based on reality, but more likely they are influenced by emotion. So a brand or product may make a consumer feel proud, excited, or confident. So marketers are increasingly recognizing the power of emotional appeal, especially if these are rooted in some functional aspect of the brand. Okay, we have touched on memory right now. Okay, there are two types of memory that we have. Okay, long-term memory and short-term memory. Okay, if you don't have idea how this short-term memory or long-term memory is all about, you might watch Inside Out movie. It's very interesting movie. Okay, this is cartoon, but very we call it as a very useful for us to know which one long term, which one short term. Okay, I don't want to go too much because we have another 60 slides to go through. So brand association, consumers' brand knowledge is a node in memory with a variety of link associations. So the strength and organization of this association will be important determinants of the information that can be recalled about the brand. So brand association consists of brand-related thought, feelings, perceptions, images, experiences, beliefs, attitudes, and so on that become linked to the brand node. Okay, that's why we need good brand. Okay, good brand, good position of the product in the market. Okay, good reputation, which is later give the potential market idea how our product perform and how our product perceived by customer. Okay, this is an example of a higher mental map. Hypothetical higher. Higher is a one product. One of the brand available in the market. The brand related to laundry. Okay, laundry, washing machine, dryer. Okay, even you might have a kitchen. Okay, higher. Okay, so all right. So memory processes. Memory is a very constructive process because we don't remember information and events completely and accurately. So often we remember bits and pieces and fill in the rest. Okay, memory encoding describes how and where information gets into memory. So the more attention placed on the meaning of information during encoding, the stronger the result association in the memory will be. Okay, that's why in our memorizing process, we do not memorize every single part, but we do have certain keyword skills that we store in our memory. Okay, memory retrieval refer to how information gets out of memory. Okay, how do you retrieve all the information affected by three factors? Okay, the presence of other product information in memory can product interference effect. The time between exposure to information and encoding has been shown generally to produce only gradual decay, and information may be available in memory, okay, but may not be accessible, okay, without the proper retrieval cues or reminders. That's why sometimes we consider as forgot, but not forgotten. Okay, we have lots of information stored in our memory. Okay, but how to retrieve all the information based on what the cues are required to call all the memories. Okay, so the buying process, decision process. Okay, this process is very common. Okay, we call it as the 5-stage model. Okay, the 5-stage model starting with problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternative, purchase decision, and post-purchase behavior. Okay, do you do all these five stages? Of course. You want to buy anything. You want to buy a watch. You want to buy a book. You want to buy food. You have gone through this 5-stage model. Do you believe me? You don't believe me. If you don't believe, let's go through. Okay, first, problem recognition. I don't have problems, sir. Yes, of course you don't have problem. But every second, uh, you breathing, you need something. That's your problem. Okay. All right. So the needs will be that will trigger the internal or external stimuli. Okay. So as we need for something in every second of our life, okay, that very important to the marketer. Feel hungry, that's a need, and it become problem if it's so serious. Okay, so to make it more sensible, more common, more simple words, if you test how to solve your problem, drink. So an adult consumer will be inclined to search for more information. There are two types of arousal. Okay, the milder stage called heightened attention. Second level, we call it as an active information search. Okay, the first milder state, okay, require you and get you more receptive to information about a product. Okay. However, for another level, you look for something. Okay. You prone to look something deeper rather than just receive the information. Okay. So source of information can be personally, commercial based on the advertising, okay, the mass media, and also they are experiential. Okay. Why information source important? Okay. So consumer receive the most information about the product from commercial sources, that is marketer dominated sources. However, the most effective information often comes from personal sources or public sources that are independent authorities. Okay, we look for others people say about this product. We look for our families, what are they perceive from perceive on our our intention or our yes, our intention. Yeah. Relating important information sources, each information source perform different function in influencing the buying decision. So commercial sources normally perform an information function, whereas personal perform a legitimizing or evaluation function. Okay. Conforming, there's a one, we call it as a personal sources. Okay. Some of us doesn't require the information search anymore. Why? We talk about the memory. Okay, you already know about certain product based on your experience that you have gone through before. Okay, another term we call or consider as evoke set. The evoke set will help you or assist you to go to the process more faster. Okay, more easier, more faster, more quicker. Okay, right. This is how we look into uh, information. Okay, that we evaluate one by one until we make the last decision. Okay, so marketers need to identify the hierarchy of attributes that guide consumer decision making in order to understand different competitive forces and how these various set get formed. Okay, this process of identifying hierarchy is called market partitioning. Okay, this is equal as a search dynamic. All right. So evaluation of alternative. Okay, no single process is used by all consumer or by one consumer in all buying situation. Okay, we do perform various process. Okay, in our it's a mind process actually. Okay, there are several processes. The most current model which see the process as cognitively oriented. Okay, right. This is how we evaluate the alternative. Okay, we look for something that satisfy our need. Okay, and then we filter it with the benefit that we can get from it. Okay, and then anything that give you extra miles. Okay, that see each product as a bundle of attributes which vary with varying ability for delivering the benefit. Okay, for example, picture sharpness. This is example how how we compare the product. Okay, and right. Okay, before we go to purchase decision, we already evaluate. Right, we do some put some expression to our potential product that we tend to buy. Okay, based on the information that we get before through the learning process. Okay, we do have our own belief towards that particular product. Okay, we will show our attitude later. Okay, so attitude put people into frame of mind liking or disliking an object. Okay, there's a two-way, either you like or you dislike. Okay, all right, it's very consistent because it comes from the learning process. It comes from your set of belief that you build up already. Okay, that's why there are so many products that promise certain benefit which avoided by certain market because they have their own belief and attitude towards that. Okay, so here come the expectancy values model. Okay, all right, this is how we calculated. All right, what could the manufacturer of brand we do in order to stimulate interest in the brand? Okay, what happened? Okay, 7.8. Okay, compared to the B. All right, B achieve 8. Okay, redesign the computer. Okay, alter belief from about the brand, alter belief about computer's brand. Okay, alter the important weight, call attention to neglect attribute, and shift the bias ideal. Okay, all right. In other words, say another you can put into something more easier to understand. If you want to get people attention, okay, you need to know what are the possibility, uh, what are the components, what are the expression that will develop by your potential customer towards our product and also our competitors product. Okay. All right. So purchase decision in the evaluation state, the consumer form preferences among the brands in the choice set. The consumers may also form an intention to buy the most preferred brand. Okay. So in the case of this, okay, the brand A, the dealer number 2, quantity 1, timing weekend, payment method credit card. This is how do we come to conclusion. Okay. The non-compensatory model of consumer choice, the expectancy value model, is a compensatory model. In that, perceived good things about a product can help to overcome perceived bad things. Okay, but consumer often take mental shortcut called heuristic or rule of thumb in the decision process. With non-compensatory model of consumer choice, positive and negative attribute consideration do not necessarily net out. Okay. 1. With the conjunctive heuristic, the consumer set a minimum acceptable cut-off level for each attribute and chooses the first alternative that meet the minimum standard, okay, or for all attribute. With the lexicographic heuristic, the consumer chooses the best brand on the basis of its perceived most important attribute. Okay. Third, with the elimination by aspect heuristic method, the consumer compares brand on the attribute selected and eliminate brand that do not meet minimum acceptable cutoff. So consumer do not adopt only one type of choice rule and may combine to a more decision rule. All right. So intervening factor, okay. Even if consumer form brand evaluation, two general factors can intervene between the purchase intention and the purchase decision. In figure 6.6, right here, okay, show the factors that influence the purchase decision, attitudes of others, and also unanticipated situational factor. Okay, this factor is attitude of others and an anticipated situational factor. So attitude of others, the extent to which another person's attitude reduces the preference for an alternative depend on two things. Okay, the intensity of other person's negative attitude toward the consumer preferred alternative and the consumer's motivation to comply with the other person's wishes. So the more intense the other person's negativism, and the closer the other person is to the consumer, the more the consumer will adjust his or her purchase intention. So influence of intermediary, okay, related to the attitudes of others is the role played by intermediaries who publish their evaluations. Example, for consumer reports, provide unbiased expert review of all types of product and services, professional movie, book and music reviewers, customer reviews of book and music on Amazon.com, and the increasing number of chat rooms where people discuss product and services, and also companies. An anticipated situational factor, which is may erupt to change the purchase intention. A consumer might lose her job, some other purchase might become more urgent, or a top salesperson may turn her off. Okay, preferences and even purchase intention are not completely reliable predictor of purchase behavior. Okay, another thing when considering the buying any product, okay, first thing first, risk. Okay, we have 6 risks that should be taken into consideration. First, functional risk. Okay, the product not perform well. Physical risk, might get injured. Okay, because of using that product. Okay, financial risk, you might face losses. Okay, when you pay more than what it was. Okay, so fourth, social risk. Okay, anything that cause embarrassment, psychological risk, okay, affect your mental, and also time risk, which is you waste your time in buying or looking for product that not satisfactory level. Okay, post-purchase behavior. Okay, in the last stage, the fifth stage, post-purchase behavior. Okay, after the purchase, the consumer might experience dissonance. Okay, dissonant about their purchase and be alert to information that support their decision. So this is not the end for the marketing activities. Okay, it's not the end because why? Because if you put end your marketing action, okay, it might contribute or drive your what you call it as a your customer are not having or are not retained as a your customer anymore. Okay, so marketing communication should supply belief and evaluation that reinforce the consumer choice and help him or make them feel good. Okay, marketers must monitor post-purchase satisfaction, post-purchase action, and post-purchase users. Post-purchase satisfaction. Often we compare our expectation and also our experience. If you get more beyond our expectation, you feel delighted. If good less than what we expect, dissatisfaction will occur. This is how marketer jumps in and help them and assist them to overcome the dissatisfaction. Okay, all right. Okay, we feel okay if you get equally what we expect. Okay, a satisfied consumer is more likely to purchase the product again. Okay, repatron, come again, rebuy. Alright. On the other hand, dissatisfied may abandon or return the product. Okay, complain, bring we call it sue the company. Okay, so post purchase action. Okay, private action include making a decision to stop buying the product. Okay, warning friend, talking word of mouth, talking to other people, do not buy. Right. So this is very critical or very crucial part for company. Okay, through customer relationship management, you must make sure your customer, your current customer, your existing customer feel better, feel welcome by the company. Okay, post-purchase use and disposal, marketers must also monitor how buyers use and dispose the product. Key driver of sales frequency is product consumption rate. Okay, the more people buy from the same buyer, indicate that your product useful and also working. Okay, the more quickly buyer consume a product, the sooner they may back to come and purchase again. So you need to know how consumer dispose of the product once it is used. Okay, this is how customer use or dispose the product. Okay, you might read on your own. Okay. All right, moderating effect on consumer decision making. We talked already about intervening factor. Right now we talk about moderating factor. Okay, the manner or path by which a consumer moves through the decision making stages depend on several factors. Okay, the level of involvement and extent of variety seeking. So low involvement consumer decision making. Okay, mean here we don't have so much time to involve in the process. We put less effort in decide anything that you want. Okay, so describe how consumer make evaluation in both low and high involvement circumstances. Okay, we have two route, central route and peripheral route. Consumer follow the central route only if they possess sufficient motivation, ability, and opportunity. If any of these are lacking, then customers tend to follow the peripheral route. Okay, all right. How to convert a low involvement product into one of high involvement? Okay, first, link the product to some involving issue. Okay, link the product to some involving personal situation. Design advertising to trigger strong emotion related to personal values or ego defense. Okay, most likely protection plan, protection product involved using this. Okay, add an important feature. Okay, the peripheral route, yeah, the first one is central route. Right now we talk about the peripheral route. If, regardless of what the marketers can do, consumers still have low involvement with purchase decision, they are likely to follow the peripheral route. So you need to pay special attention to giving consumer one or more positive cues that they can use to justify their brand choice. Brand familiarity can be important if consumer decide to just buy the brand about which they have heard or seen the most. So frequent ad repetition, visible sponsorship, and vigorous public relation are all ways to enhance brand familiarity. Okay, this is another one type of consumer variety seeking. Okay, some buying situations are characterized by low involvement but significant brand differences. Brand switching occur for the sake of variety rather than dissatisfaction. Just try something else. That's the way happen in the market actually. Okay, how to make sure yourself congruent with the situation. So the market leader and the minor brands in this product category have different marketing strategy. Okay, we talk about market leader versus challenger firms. Okay, the market leader will try to encourage habitual buying behavior by dominating the shelf space. Okay, challenger firms will encourage variety seeking by offering lower price, okay, deals, coupon, free sample, and advertising that tries to break the consumer purchase and consumption cycle and present reason for trying something new. Okay, to try to get something different. Behavioral decision theory and behavioral economic. As a result of low involvement, decision making and variety seeking, consumers don't always process information or make decisions in a deliberate, rational manner. One of the most active academic research areas in marketing over the past 3 decades have been behavioral decision theory. Okay, behavioral decision theories have identified many situations in which consumers make seemingly irrational choices. Okay, all right. Decision heuristic, other heuristic similar come into play in everyday decision making when consumer forecast the likelihood of future outcomes or events. So the availability heuristic, consumers base their prediction on the quickness and ease with which a particular example of an outcome comes to mind. The representativeness heuristic, consumer base their prediction on how representative or similar the outcome is to other example. The anchoring and adjustment heuristic, consumers arrive at an initial judgment and then adjust it based on additional information. So last part we talk about framing. Okay, decision framing is a manner in which choices are presented to and seen by decision maker. So framing effect can be found in a comparative advertising, where a brand can put its best foot forward by comparing itself to another with inferior features. Okay, this is that what Volkswagen have done is in your book example. Okay, we have a few things last. Okay, mental accounting. Okay, researchers have found that consumers use mental accounting when they handle their money. Mental accounting refers to the ways consumers code, categorize, and evaluate financial outcome of choices. Formally, it is the tendency to categorize fund or item of value, even though there is no logical basis for the categorization. For example, individuals often segregate their savings into separate accounts to meet different goals, even though funds from any of the account can be applied to any of the goals. Okay, core principle of mental accounting. Okay, consumer tend to segregate gains. Okay, when a seller has a product with more than one positive dimension, it's desirable to have the consumer evaluate each dimension separately. Listing multiple benefit of a large industrial product, for example, can make the sum of the parts seem greater than the whole. So consumers tend to integrate losses. Okay, marketers have a distinct advantage in selling something if its focus, if its cost can be added to another large purchase. House buyers are more inclined to view additional expenditure favorably given the high price of buying a house. So, third, consumers tend integrate smaller losses with larger gain. The cancellation principle might explain why withholding taxes from monthly paychecks is less aversive than large lump sum tax payment. The smaller withholding are more likely to be absorbed by the larger pay amount. The fourth principle, consumers tend to segregate small gain from large losses. The silver lining principle might explain the popularity of rebates on big ticket purchases such as car. So last, okay, the principle of mental accounting are derived in part from prospect theory. Okay, it is maintained that consumer frame their decision alternative in terms of gains and losses according to a value function. So consumers are generally loss averse. Okay, they tend to overweight very low probability and underweight very high probability. Okay, that's all. Okay, I think this very lengthy things. Okay, now okay, we already at for 1 hour and a half. Hopefully you can get something. Okay, thank you very much. This is our sixth lecture. Okay, we see you on chapter 7, business analyzing business market. Okay, see you again. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.